If you've been wondering if the Shadow Interlock V2 chain will work for your bike, you came to the right place. Today, I'm gonna do and explain a review about the Shadow Interlock V2 chain and tell you everything from what colors they come in, to how they're made, to what tools you need, if you need an extra chain to make it fit your bike, all the other questions that you might have about this chain. I'm gonna tell you it and teach you how to keep this chain working great for your bike and not snapping on you. So yeah, if you want to see this video right now, head over to my Instagram, Stack BMX Shop, and subscribe to my Instagram, and you can watch this video right now. If not, you can hang tight and wait for this video to premiere, and then you could see all the juicy information about this. So yeah, let's get to it. Starting off, if you're not familiar what a half link chain is and what a full link chain is, I'm going to show you everything right now. So I actually messed up and I forgot to grab a regular link chain. So I have one ready right here. It's just a little bit farther. This is your typical full link chain. This is what we've all used in the past. This is what's on our single speed bikes, like our beach cruisers, our fixed bikes. It's, you know what I mean? All the bikes that have a single speed, even BMX bikes, had this chain on here. So I'm gonna show you the difference. So on a full link chain, which is pretty common, it's built a little bit different. So how they design this chain, let me see if I could get in here closer to show you. So there's an inside link and then there's an outside link. So the inside links consist of two plates, a bushingless roller, or two bushingless rollers right there on the inside. And then the outside consists of two outer plates, which are a peanut shape, and two pins that hold it together, almost three pins that hold it together. And that's what keeps your chain working. The problem with this is that having these two, that this one tends to be a little thin and this one seems to be a little thin, and they end up twisting and breaking. Usually just split in half and break. They are also super greasy. So my hand is freaking annihilated with chain lube, which is not fun. We got the Shadow one over here. I'm gonna show you the difference between that one. This one is different because it literally uses two plates. See, I'll bring it in close, focus. So it's got two plates that are opposite, but they are symmetrical, so they match up. It's got a bushingless roller, and then it's got a pin. So they've gone down from one, two, three, four pieces down to, I guess, four pieces as well, because these are two different ones, four pieces as well. But what's cool is that notice how just these two interlock with the next one. The other cool thing is that the fact that these are a little bit thicker, and the fact that these plates bend like so, and it's a lot harder to bend this one that wraps like that than a straight one. So going from, and then also too, if you look at the plate from the side plate is a lot taller than, and I don't even want to touch this one, it's so full of oil, but notice how much taller that this chain is, therefore giving it a lot more strength and lasting a lot longer. So those are the big benefits. Another thing is that I'm gonna put this one down, I'm gonna show you this chain. These both look like they're metal, and they are, but the thing is that us humans, we just naturally think because one's metal, the other one's metal, they're gonna be just as strong. But in fact, that's farther from the truth. This one looks nice and shiny. Shiny stuff is usually more expensive. But in this case, this one is not more expensive. It's actually not as good a quality. So let's go real tight on here. So this is where you start to see the quality and what you're paying for. So if you look at these pins right here, notice how they're hit from the side here and there. That's because as they're putting them together and making the chain, they're slamming this thing down and pressing those pins, but it's only on the side and it's just a little bit. So if you put a lot of torque on it or anything like that, that little plate out here is gonna pop right off. So that's where these other chains come into play, and they're actually a lot, well, similar, but a lot different, and it adds a lot of strength. So when you go onto this chain, check this thing out. Notice how it's pushed in the center and it's not on the sides. So what this does is it actually pushes out both sides or all the way around the pin, making the complete pin way thicker. Doing that allows these plates to stay on and for your chain not to break. 99% of the chance, or 99% of the reason why your chain breaks is because you or your mechanic did not install the chain correctly. And that's because we're used to the traditional push the pin in and leave it. Whereas if you would get this and put it in a vise and smash the outside of the pin, that pin would be way too wide and that little plate wouldn't fall off. So if your chain broke somewhere else, it wouldn't be on that link. So if you're having trouble with that, head over to some of my other videos and check out the how to install video on some chains. And I show you a lot of tips and tricks to help you not break your chain breaker and to keep your chain together. If you're wondering what tool you need to install this, yes, you probably could use the regular Park Tool chain breaker. I think it's the Brute chain breaker. It's very small. It's probably about 20 bucks, maybe 15 bucks, but it could push these out, but it tends to break those chain breakers. You can go up to the higher end one, which is around 50, 60 bucks, and that should push these pins out no problem. Another one that's a little bit more cost effective is this Shadow Conspiracy chain specifically, or chain breaker specifically for the Interlock 1. But there's a main thing that you might not know is that when you actually put the chain together, a bunch of you guys, what you guys do is, let me see if I could show you. So you guys go ahead and you install the chain, and this isn't to knock you. This is to grab your attention and make you feel like I'm attacking you. But what I'm actually doing is I'm creating awareness for you so that you notice that it's a problem, and then you could assess it and then attack it and then never have that problem and then forget that I ever brought it up to you. You start teaching other people so that more bike riders know and we can make BMX better. So that's what I'm doing. If more BMXers help me out, BMX would definitely be a better place. So what I see is most people put the chain breaker on and they go to push the pin in, but you shouldn't push that in with the chain breaker, because what happens is that this little pin wobbles. Your chain breaker is a little pin and they're over here dancing. When they're dancing and you push that in, that's why your chain breaker bends, and it bends that pin is because you're over there playing tip to tip. You never play tip to tip. So what you want to do actually is get a vise, push this thing in most of the way, or get some vice grips, channel locks, anything like that, and push that pin almost all the way in. And then once it's all the way in, then you can crank it down and tighten up or push the pin all the way through. If you want to know how these things work, let's see, I'll show you. And here's another tool from Odyssey. This one's a great one to use as well. So on these chains, you're gonna want to put it on the bottom slot, stick it into that hole, screw down, and then as you screw down and you keep pushing it, it'll push it all the way out. But make sure you don't push it all the way out, and make sure you watch my other videos, because I'm gonna show you a trick how not to push that pin out all the way and then spit out. A lot of misconfusion. I don't know why they do it, or who even uses it, but I've been working at a bike shop for 25 years and they've always sent these things. I've even got the first Shadow chain that was, not the first Shadow chain, but one of the first Shadow chains that were out. And I never put this pin in, and always had pretty good luck just by doing those little tricks and tips. But let's go into how this chain goes on your bike. A lot of people don't know how this goes. It gets a little confusing. There's two different styles of the chain on each side depending on which way you put it. See how there's a flat side on the left right here, and there's a flat side on the right here, but it has rollers on here. Always keep in mind that this round side, you want this side on your gear, your driver. You want this flat side on the outside. So flat side on the outside, this one on the inside, because you want to give your cog and your gears and all that stuff a little bit more room to help this thing spin. So when this thing goes around your driver, I mean, it's little like that. So you want the curve. You do not want to have the flat, because the flat takes up a lot of real estate and it tears up your gears and everything like that. The way you want to install this on your actual bicycle is very easy. Let's say your bike is facing to the right. Always sprocket out facing to the right. When you look at this chain, I like to look at it as a fish. So when the chain is smaller on the back and bigger on the front, aka the head of the fish, tail of the fish, you want that bad boy to be on top. Your guy is always on top. You want him to be on top of the sprocket and top of the chain, and you want him to always be facing the front of your bike. So if he's swimming like this. So when you put your chain on, you're gonna put it like so, and the fish are gonna swim in unison, no problem. If you're worried about, does this bike actually fit your bike? What's the difference between 3/32 and 1/8" chain? Race bikes and road bikes, multi-speed bikes tend to have a 3/32 chain. That's so that it's narrower and it can fit in between the gears, or it has ramps, or it is thinner to be lighter. An 1/8" chain is traditionally for single speed bikes and for strength. Majority of the bikes have an 1/8" chain, and always remember, if you have a 3/32 sprocket or freewheel or cassette, cog, whatever you want to call it, you can put an 1/8" chain on it and it's not going to damage it or anything like that. It will slide a little bit left and right, but it is not going to damage it. It's not going to ruin it or anything like that. 1/8" chains pretty much is the way you want to go if you want something heavy duty. As far as does it fit your bike lengthwise, and I see a lot of cheap guys that come in here and they want the half-link chain, but they think that you just need to buy one chain. Okay, that's a great understanding, but you got to realize that you sometimes have to buy two chains. I know you only need like 3 to 5 of these things, but it is what it is. If you want this, you have to buy two chains. Don't cheap out. Just get the chain. It's going to save you a lot of headaches. You have extra links. If you ride a lot, you could eventually use that other one. Probably have to buy another chain, but eventually you'll keep doing it, or you could lend it out to somebody. But just suck it up, guys, and buy another chain to get it long enough. If you're wondering if this is long enough for your bike, these are 98 links, which is designed traditionally for the 20" bikes, because they got a 25 in the front and a 9 in the back. The rear end is usually around 13 inches. If you look at a big bike, which most of you guys are putting these on your bike, you have a lot larger sprockets. So you'll have like a 33, a 36, a 39, a 44. You'll have a 16 in the back, 18, a 20 in the back. And then your rear end length is, I would say close to 15 inches long, maybe even more. So with all that distance, all that extra chain and everything, you're gonna need some more chain. So 20" BMX bikes, these fit it. I know a lot of people are know-it-alls out there, and you're like, why don't they just make the chain longer so they fit the big BMX bikes and blah, blah, blah. Well, the problem is that big BMX bikes aren't the majority of the sales. So making it the size for the 20" bike actually removes 3 or 4 links over thousands of these chains, actually drops the price for this chain and makes it only 38 bucks. If they made them all the longer chain, these chains would probably be 45 bucks, and 45 bucks to everybody that doesn't need those extra 5 links isn't really fair. So know-it-alls, you lose this one. If you think you're right, start your own business, make your own chain, show us how it's done, and don't comment. Make stuff a reality. That's why we're here in BMX. No more comments. Let's create content and share. If you're trying to put this on a bigger bike, definitely you're gonna have to buy an extra chain, connect them, and then go about and install your chain properly. This chain is available in multiple colors. They have other different colors that are limited editions or kind of changed. They got black, chrome, copper, red, white, black and chrome, or black and silver. They have black, copper, and chrome, and they got a few other ones. But if you're wondering where you can get this, head over to stackbmx.com, pick up yourself one of these chains, put it on your bike, go outside, and have a good time.